So yeah, it's great to one get exposed to the Walther Defense Division, and some top-notch instructors kind of see portions of their curriculum that they're doing well with, and use the guns in that context, and see the features of the PDP. You don't really have to focus on them. You're just kind of organically experiencing them inside of the different curriculum. Very positive first impressions so far. The sum of the features really works well together. The things that jumped out at me were the trigger, the quality of the brake, but also the shape and placement. Just everything about the trigger really jumps out. But also the texturing and just the overall feel of the guns. I don't have a tremendous amount of experience on the Walther platforms, so I can't compare it to the older models, but I can say that it's really shooting well, so that even in some of these kind of more difficult, stressful scenarios, you don't have to think about the shooting as much, because between the dot, the trigger, the overall feel, you're just, what do I need to do, and the gun's letting you do it. So it's a lot of times with a new model, when you're jumping on a bunch of new models, you're having to kind of think through, okay, this is a new platform. How do I make it do what I need to do at the level I'm used to? In this case, I feel like I'm just jumping right in and hitting stride, and in some cases actually performing ahead of where I might expect with some of the more typical striker-fired platforms. I think the market up to this point has been largely kind of upscale, little pricey models that are red dot ready, or kind of entry-level ones that really are not full feature. And this, with the price point as well as the way it all comes together, is very attractive. I think a lot of folks are going to be very interested in that. So that would be very attractive for folks to be able to get a very full feature platform that's completely red dot ready, but also in the engineering of how it mounts is pretty good. So it mounts low, and we've been shooting with the Delta point primarily, which is good optic. So I've enjoyed working with it in these different classes. The texture on the grip I like a lot. It's just aggressive enough that I think more kind of high performance shooters are going to they're not going to need to do anything to it, but it's not going to necessarily turn off newer shooters who typically like something a little less aggressive. It's a very good compromise place that it was very comfortable against the skin and appendix carry, but locked into the grasp really well. So I'm liking the feel of that. In all the scenarios so far, it's jumped out that there's a lot of potential there. I'm anxious to actually put it on the rest and see exactly what it's doing, but I fully expect to see some good results just based on what we're seeing in precision drills, up close. But between the dot and, like I said, the quality of that trigger, I'm seeing the kind of potential that I like to see in a platform. So like I said, I'm anxious to continue to push it on the backside of this event. The one thing I'd say that I really like about the trigger is I like to teach folks to get to the wall and to use that to their advantage. And so there's a very predictable point where the slack turns into resistance, where you're actually engaging the release of the shot. And I think almost anyone could very quickly and repeatedly find that with this, but then the quality of the brake takes over, and I think it's a really good compromise spot for between the competition shooter, the defensive shooter, the duty user. I think each of those communities is going to, tinker's got to tink. They're going to want to upgrade stuff, but I don't think very many people will need to be able to see some really great results out of this trigger.